The House will come to order. The pledge today will be led by Philip Norton, Sean Norton, and Brody Norton from Homeschool Highlands Ranch, Colorado.
Will you please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I've got your Mr. Culler, please take the roll.
Representatives Arndt. Becker J. Becker K. Representative Casey Becker.
Representative Becker, excuse.
Brown. Buck. Buckner. Carver. Conti. Corum. Court. Danielson. Representative Casey Becker is present. Del Grosso. Dorr. Representative Dorr. Representative Dorr.
Representative Dorr, excused.
Duran. Esgar. Everett. Fields. Foote. Garnett. Janal. Representative Janal. Hamner. Humphrey. Joshi. Kagan. Klingenschmidt. Kraftarp. Landgraf. Lawrence. Yeah, Representative Dorr is present. Representative Lawrence. Lebsock. Lee. Lontine. Lundeen. McCann. Melton. Mitch Bush. Moreno. Navarro. Neville. Nordberg. Pabon. Pedersen. Primavera. Priola. Rankin. Ransom. Rosenthal. Rupe. Ryden. Sane. Salazar. Sias. Singer. Thurlow. Tyler. Van Winkle. Vigil. Willett. Williams. Wilson. Windholz. Winter. Wist. Young. Madam Speaker.
Here. With 64 present and 1 vacancy, a quorum is present. Representative Carver.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move that the reading of the Journal of January 22nd, 2016 be dispensed with and that it be approved as corrected by the Chief Clerk.
You have heard the motion that the journal be adopted as corrected by the chief clerk. All those in favor say aye. Opposed say no. Motion carries. Members, could I have your attention, please? And those in the chambers and in the gallery. We are going to proceed to consider memorials. So I would hope that you could all take your seats. This is on page 1 of the calendar. And please, Mr. Kohler, read the title and House Bill 1001 at length.
House Memorial 1001 by Representative Rupe, memorializing former Representative Dr. William Truett Martin. Whereas Dr. William Truett Martin, the former representative, departed this life on December 29, 2015 at the age of 91. And whereas Dr. Martin was born on October 24, 1924 in Elbert, Texas, to Olin and Marie Martin. And whereas Dr. Martin grew up in Texas and New Mexico during the Depression, often having little to eat, no money, and no indoor plumbing. And whereas when he was about 10 years old, Dr. Martin lived on a ranch near South Lake, Texas, where he worked riding fence. And whereas in high school, before graduating at the age of 16, Dr. Martin was a champion swimmer and diver. And whereas Dr. Martin attended college for 2 years before joining the Army Air Force, where he served as a command pilot and a multi-engine instrument instructor by the age of 19. And whereas Dr. Martin met his wife, Maxine Almond, while he was stationed in Warrensburg, Missouri, and they married on August 26, 1946. And whereas Dr. Martin served in the Army Air Force until the end of World War II, after which he completed his bachelor's degree, graduating from North Texas State College with a BS in math and physics. And whereas Dr. Martin coached high school football for a year before attending dental school at the University of Missouri in Kansas City, and then, after 4 years of dental practice, he completed his training at the University of Iowa in oral and maxillofacial surgery. And whereas Dr. Martin joined a dental practice in Colorado Springs in 1959 and practiced oral surgery for 35 years, often flying to rural areas in Colorado to serve patients without access to care. And whereas at various times Dr. Martin and his partner in dental practice assisted the veterinarian at the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo in attending to the dental surgery needs of the zoo animals, including a root canal on an elephant's tusk, an incisor reduction on a gorilla, and an extraction on a Siberian tiger. And whereas Dr. Martin had a long history of public service as a fellow of the American College of Dentistry, president of the Midwestern Society of Oral Surgeons, president of the Rocky Mountain Society of Oral Surgery, president of the Colorado Dental Association, a member of the Hospital Affairs Committee of the American Society of Oral Surgery, president of the Colorado Springs Country Club, and team physician for the U.S. hockey team at the 1962 World Championships at the World Arena. And whereas after retiring from oral surgery in 1988, Dr. Martin was elected to the Colorado House of Representatives, where he served from 1989 to 1997. And whereas during his tenure in the House of Representatives, Representative Martin served as chair of the House Finance Committee and the Capital Development Committee, helping to procure funding for the expansion of the University of Colorado in Colorado Springs and Interstate 25 in Colorado Springs. And whereas Representative Martin also served on the Health, Education, and Welfare Committee and was well known for being able to work across the aisle. And whereas after his term in the House of Representatives, Governor Bill Owens appointed Representative Martin to the Board of Trustees of the state colleges in Colorado. And whereas after 54 years of marriage, Representative Martin's beloved wife, Maxine, died in 2000, and a year later he married his second wife, Loretta, with whom he enjoyed 14 years of marriage. And whereas Representative Martin enjoyed a loving family that included 3 children, 2 stepchildren, their spouses, 12 grandchildren, 9 great-grandchildren, a sister-in-law, and 8 nieces and nephews. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the House of Representatives of the 70th General Assembly of the State of Colorado that in the death of William Martin, the people of the state of Colorado have lost a devoted public servant and an outstanding citizen, and that we, the members of the 70th General Assembly, pay tribute to William Martin for his years of dedicated public service and do hereby extend our deep and heartfelt sympathy to the members of his family. Be it further resolved that a copy of this memorial be sent to Representative Martin's wife, Loretta Martin of Gilbert, Arizona, and his children, Dr. Don Martin of Manhattan, Kansas, Sally Martin Knopfsinger of Colorado Springs, Colorado, William C. Sam Martin of Fort Collins, Colorado, Michael Ammons of Topeka, Kansas, and Michelle Cunningham of Gilbert, Arizona.
Representative Rupe.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you, members. Madam Speaker and members, I move for the adoption of HM 1001.
The motion is for the adoption of House Memorial 1001. Please proceed, Representative Rupe.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I would ask members to adopt this in, as a part of the roll call, I guess.
I think we wait a minute on that,
Wait on that.
Representative
Thank you.
Rupe.
So, Madam Speaker, under Rule 26F, I request 5-minute recess.
Representative Rupe, I think what we'll do, if it's all right with you, we'll hear from you and then any other members of the current House of Representatives that would like to speak to this memorial, and then we'll proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. So I had vaguely known Representative Martin back in the early 90s, and he was a very outstanding gentleman. He had a great deal of integrity. He cared about the people in his community, and this was very early on. I had just graduated from college and was getting involved in my community much more. So with knowing that Representative Martin was such a high-quality individual, it was my honor to be willing to do this memorial for him. I think that he served us with the best of integrity, and I can't say much more than that I just knew him that well. So I ask if there are any other members in the Assembly who knew Representative Martin would like to come up and say anything.
Are there other members of this body that would like to speak to the memorial? Seeing none, we will, and no objection, we will take a brief recess so that members can speak, about 5 minutes. Please proceed, Representative Rupe.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I would like to introduce former Speaker of the House, Chuck Berry, to say a few words about Representative Martin.
Mr. Speaker, welcome to the floor.
Madam Speaker, thank you very much. Representative Rupe, thank you for doing this. I know you're all very busy, so I'll try to be brief. But members of the Colorado House of Representatives, I had the pleasure of serving with Representative Martin during his entire time when he was here in the House of Representatives. You know, it was after the passage of term limits in 1990 that we changed the rules to allow former members of the House of Representatives to speak at these memorials, given the fact that, you know, as time goes on, probably it was unlikely that many of the members here would have served with a member like Bill Martin, who served in the late 80s and 1990s. You know, you heard in the memorial, he served on a lot of committees. I had the pleasure of appointing him chair of the House Finance Committee. I believe it was at the beginning of the 1995 session. Also to the Capital Development Committee and to the other committees. Representative Martin was somewhat unique because after the 120-day limit was passed in 1988, the rules were changed to allow only 5 bills per member in the normal course of events, with obviously the exceptions with late bills and JBC bills. Representative Martin didn't always carry 5 bills. He said if I didn't have, you know, 5 things that really needed to get done, I wasn't going to introduce 5 bills. And you know, he got some criticism for that in Colorado Springs, but obviously his constituents didn't care. They knew he was being effective. They knew he was working behind the scenes and getting a lot of things done when he was up here at the Capitol in Denver. You know, I have to admit I did not know about the work that Bill Martin had done at the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo with the various animals up there and root canals and things, and it made me think back. It was actually his partner in the dental practice, Dr. Nasenbeam, who removed my wisdom teeth when I was in college. So I don't know what connection that is, but I thought it was very interesting that he would go up to the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo and help out with the animals up there. Again, I think, it's important not to take a lot of time with this, but just to remind you that this was a gentleman who served well in this body, who was dedicated to his constituents in Colorado Springs, but to the people of the state of Colorado as a whole. He worked behind the scenes a lot. He wasn't what I'd call a flamboyant legislator, but he was very dedicated to his work, very thorough, very thoughtful. So, and I have to add this because of the time, but I remember Bill Martin was a big fan of the Denver Broncos. And so wherever he is up there, I'm sure he's smiling this morning with the great win of the Broncos yesterday in the AFC Championship. But Representative Rappe, thank you for presenting this memorial, and members of the House, thank you for your time. I know you're very busy. Madam Speaker, thank you for allowing us to speak.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Are there other former members who would like to speak? Madam Majority Leader, please join us. Madam Majority Leader Anderson.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. It's a privilege to be here in your beautiful chambers. It was not like this when Bill and I served. I know he would enjoy it. And like Speaker Berry, I'll try not to take up much of your time, but I also did not know about his oral surgeon on animals at the zoo. He was very quiet. He didn't talk about himself. But he didn't have any patience for fools, I'll tell you that. When we would have budget, I'm going to tell 3 little stories about him. When we had budget caucus, the Joint Budget Committee would present the budget. He'd hold up his hand. I moved to close the budget. No discussion, none whatsoever. We'd say, Bill, no, you can't do that. So we would go on and discuss, but he would make that motion quite often, at least the first time the budget was presented. And one of the other stories that I love to tell about him is debate. Second reading, of course, you all know that you can debate as long as you want. But he had read his rules, and he saw this motion, I move to close debate. So he came down, it was going on and on. Like I said, he didn't have much patience for long-winded people. He came down and made the motion, Bill, you can't do that. On second, you can speak forever. But let there be debate on third. I guarantee he was down here making the motion. I move to close debate. And the other thing, he was very passionate about Colorado Springs and representing it. And school finance, you all know how difficult school finance is. We had a bill pass here in '87 that changed school finance. And Colorado Springs, or El Paso County, I should say, was extremely unhappy with the outcome of that bill, as were other districts. Now, as the Speaker Berry said, he never liked to use all of his 5 bills, but he helped Tom Rattery, his compatriot, Representative Rattery from Colorado Springs, pass a bill for a study, which in fact then became the '94 School Finance Act, which I believe it's been changed a lot, but is still in existence. Bill was a good representative, very thoughtful, very thorough, and I was sorry to see him leave before his terms were up. But bless you, Bill, and may you rest in peace. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Madam Majority Leader. Senator Jones.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. It sounds good to say that. I served with Bill in the State House from '89 to '92 on the Health Environment, Welfare, and Institutions Committee, the HUIE Committee. You don't hear that anymore. And what I appreciate about Bill, before I go there, I didn't know he had pre-qualified himself by working on grumpy elephants, tigers, and gorillas for this place, because that would be a good qualification. Sedation would be good too. But I like the lines on page 3, 3 through 5. He talks about working across the aisle. Bill was a straight-up guy. You could talk to him about an issue. He may not agree with you, but you could have a conversation about it. He wasn't a man of a lot of words, but he was open. And I appreciate that, and that's what makes this place go. And so I thought it was important to come back here. Speaker Barry said, not many of us around, that's so true with term limits. We miss having people who've been around this body a long time, in my opinion. But Bill was the kind of guy that made this place work. And I think we should honor him and his efforts. And I appreciate him serving. And I also appreciate him being open to talking to anybody, regardless of party.
Thank you, Senator Jones. Are there others who would, Speaker Dean, please.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I was very sad when I heard of Bill's passing. Bill and I served together just one term in the legislature. His final was my first. I'm not sure that's why he left, but it could have been. But I can tell you my predecessor, Majority Leader Anderson mentioned earlier, Representative Rattery, worked closely with Bill on many things, not just school finance, but also making sure the needs of the other school that they jointly represented, the University of Colorado, Colorado Springs, was well taken care of. And I'd known Bill before I got into the legislature, being involved in the El Paso County Republican Party. And when I was running, met with Bill, and he let me know that that was one of my main functions, to make sure that I kept that Tom's work up on that. And I was happy to do so. Bill, as a freshman when I came in, and he was chairman of the Finance Committee, when you had a bill that went there, you needed to make sure you understood your bill, because I'll guarantee you, he probably knew it better than you did. He was one of those kind of chairmen who worked very hard and studied, so you better make sure you had your answers before you got in there. He was just that smart. He was a solid, what I referred to as a mainstream conservative. I remembered when Majority Leader Anderson was talking about his motions, and he did continue that, I think, every year in the budget caucus of the first motion made was to close the budget, because he knew that we were going to sit in there for 3 days in caucus and we weren't going to change anything substantive. Anyone? Does that sound familiar to anyone? But he knew that, and he just didn't want to waste all of our time doing that, thought we had better things to do. And he did call the question multiple times on third reading debate. And he also had a great sense of humor. I remember one time he and I got together, and I don't remember what the bill was, but you'll probably remember this. We had a Dean Martin amendment. Do you remember that? So I went to Mike and said, I move it, but I promise not to sing it. So, but we had a lot of fun down here. I wish I could have served with him longer, because he was just that kind of person that you learn from just by being around him. And I had that benefit in my time, not just Representative Martin, but others, including the two of those you just heard from earlier that I served with, that you had that opportunity to learn from people who weren't affected yet by the curse of term limits. It was really good to learn from those people and the wealth of knowledge that they brought into us. So, Bill, we know you're up there watching. We'll miss you, and the state is better for your time having served in the Colorado House of Representatives. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you, Representative Rupe.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Are there further more members, former members, who would like to speak? Seeing none, the House will come back to order, and the motion before us is the adoption of House Memorial 1001. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, Mr. Kohler, please open the machine and members proceed to vote. Close the machine. Yes, I do. Yeah. With 64 ayes and 1 vacancy, House Memorial 1001 is passed unanimously. Representative Rupe.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Now, I ask for the current roll call of the House to be added as co-sponsors.
The motion is to have the current roll call of the House be added as co-sponsors. See no objection. So ordered. We'll now have just a brief, Representative Ruppe.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I would like to ask if we could have a brief recess to introduce the family.
Yes, we can have a brief recess to do that. Seeing no objection. So ordered.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I think my wires are all messed up. I would like to introduce the family of Representative Bill Martin, Mrs. Loretta J. Martin, his wife, his children, Dr. Dawn Martin, which is his daughter, Sally Martin Notzlinger. Sorry if I mispronounced it. I think I didn't, but Sam Martin, William C. Martin, thank you. His stepchildren, Michael Emmons and Michelle Cunningham. And then his brother and sister-in-law, Doug and Marlene Feinholz.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Representative Ruppe, and I want to thank the family for being here, and all the best wishes to you go from the House of Representatives. I would like to take a moment for one announcement by the Speaker. We have the House District 25 Representative-elect in the room, I understand, Mr. Tim Leonard. Do you want to wave and be recognized? Representative-elect Leonard will be sworn in tomorrow morning at 8:30 right in these chambers. So please feel free to come if you would like. So we now have a message from the Senate. Oh, yeah, that's right. We need to come back to order. Now we have a message from the Senate.
Madam Speaker, the Senate has adopted and transmits herewith Senate Joint Resolution 4.
Madam Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move to suspend the rules for immediate consideration of SJR 004.
The motion is to suspend the rules for immediate consideration of SJR 004. Is there any objection? Seeing none, that motion passes. Representative Becker. Mr. Kohler, please read the title of we'll do that first, yeah. No, please read the title of SJR 004.
Senate Joint Resolution 4 by Senator Sonnenberg, also Representative Becker J., concerning the designation of January 25th, 2016 as Colorado 4-H Day.
Representative Becker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I move SJR 004 and ask that it be read at length.
The motion is to have the resolution read at length. Please proceed, Mr. Kohler.
Whereas, the Colorado 4-H Youth Development Program is founded on the notion that youth are a vital resource for ensuring a better future, and that assisting youth as they prepare for the future is the 4-H program's central mission. And whereas the Colorado 4-H program is an integral part of Colorado State University Extension and is fundamental to the land-grant university mission. And whereas more than 110,000 Colorado youth, with the guidance of nearly 12,000 adult and youth volunteer leaders, currently contribute to their communities and gain practical experience in workforce preparation and career exploration through their 4-H projects and activities. And whereas the Colorado State University Extension 4-H Youth Development Program has engaged AmeriCorps members in providing service to Colorado youth through the Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics out-of-school time program that will contribute to increased likelihood of high school graduation. And whereas Colorado 4-H returns $45 million annually to the Colorado economy and adds $31 million in volunteer time, resulting in a tenfold return on investment over the cost to conduct the program. And whereas a decade-long longitudinal study of positive youth development showed that, compared to their peers, youth involved in 4-H programs are 4 times more likely to make contributions to their communities, 2 times more likely to be civically active, 2 times more likely to make healthier choices, and 2 times more likely to participate in science, engineering, and computer technology programs during out-of-school time. And whereas participation in 4-H in Colorado is open to youth between the ages of 5 and 19 from all economic, social, and cultural backgrounds. Now therefore, be it resolved by the Senate of the 70th General Assembly of the State of Colorado, the House of Representatives concurring herein, that we, the General Assembly, salute the Colorado 4-H program and its efforts to prepare Colorado's youth for the future, providing a wealth of opportunities for young people to acquire decision-making, leadership, and communication skills, as well as a host of other life skills in a hands-on, friendly learning environment. Commend Colorado State University Extension for its work in supporting the mission of the Colorado 4-H program, recognize the invaluable contribution of the thousands of adult volunteers whose efforts enhance the 4-H experience for Colorado youth, and encourage young people in Colorado to get a head start on life by participating in 4-H activities. Be it further resolved that the General Assembly hereby declares this day, January 25th, 2016, Colorado 4-H Day in recognition of the 4-H program's efforts on behalf of Colorado's youth.
Representative Becker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And members, as you see, we have a lot of 4-H youth that's now sitting in the chambers and up in the balcony. It is amazing, and it is a great day when we get to see all of these youth here representing 4-H and all of their leaders and advisors as they go. I know they're from every one of our communities, and I hope you take the time to sit and chat with them after we're done here today. What a great group of students. And as you heard from the resolution, this is a great organization. This is an organization that brings us future leaders. This is an organization that keeps ag top of mind for us and brings other life skills to our communities and to this chamber. A lot of us were a part of 4-H, and a lot of us have 4-H to thank for where we are today. I'll tell you, with my son, nothing's more frustrating and important to him than sitting there doing his log books with him for his 4-H projects. We spoke about this morning. You think you're going to get them done in time, and it's always the night before that you're getting them done, sitting there going, where's our costs and what's going on? But those costs and those log books teach us future skills. And learning those future skills places you in life and puts you on a path that we can all be proud of that 4-H brings to us. So I'd like to thank the 4-H members that are in this chamber today and their leaders, because without those leaders and those advisors, we wouldn't have what we have today. So thank you very much. I'm proud to have carried this for you all, and thank you for coming to the Capitol.
Representative Buck and then Representative Danielson.
Well, members, my fellow colleagues on both sides, I have to tell you, as you know, that your folder is on the desk. So Representative Danielson and I would like to have you go over the pledge, because we think it resonates not only in the chambers here, but throughout the state of Colorado. Representative Danielson, you want?
Sure. Please proceed, Representative Danielson.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Okay, folks, it's on the back, so you can just read it, all right? I pledge my head to clear thinking, my heart to greater loyalty, my hands to larger service, and my health to greater living, to my club, my community, my country, and my world.
Thank you, everybody.
I almost remembered it. Please proceed, Representative Danielson.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members and people in the gallery watching today, welcome 4-H participants. I just wanted to say really quickly to follow up on what my colleagues were stating about the benefits of 4-H. I was a 4-H member of the Wyatt Club up in Weld County, and was very proud to be part of it. I raised livestock. I did lambs for any kids in the room who are working on your lamb projects in the summertime. But I also did photography, learned how to make cakes, all kinds of things that were really important, and you had to keep fairly good track of what you were working on, but particularly the kids who are raising livestock. It's a really intense competition. It teaches kids about caring for livestock, connects them to ag, and my family was a producer. We raised hogs, cattle, and lambs, and I still learned a lot from being part of the 4-H program. It also gave us an opportunity to go to Washington, D.C. on the Washington Focus program and learn about our government more and become involved. We had to raise the money to get there. It also provided an opportunity to play sports so that we started participating in competitive sports when I was 9 years old. So by the time we were in high school, our team had played together, for going on 10 years. It's an excellent program, and I thank everybody in the room who participates in 4-H or is a club leader and volunteers, and any of your kids that are in it, please encourage them to keep doing so. And when it is our opportunity in these chambers to support the 4-H as much as we possibly can.
Representative Klingenschmidt.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise in support of this resolution, and I support the 4-H program. I was raised on a farm in a rural area. We took our livestock to the fair every year. I remember this 4-H program really taught me the value of personal responsibility. My mother always told me, Gordon, unless you go feed those rabbits, you're not going to eat dinner. So I had to feed the rabbits, and I had to raise those lambs, and we took them, and it taught personal responsibility, and now it's not just a rural program. There's such educational opportunities in every part of Colorado that are supported by 4-H, including the science, technology, engineering, and math program that's being supported in this resolution. I urge a yes vote on this resolution, and I support education for the young people of Colorado. Thank you.
Representative Primavera.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I normally don't speak on these resolutions, but it's my last year, so here I go. I rise in support of SJR 16-004, and I want to give a shout out to the 4-H program. Both of my kids were involved in the Lazy Lopers 4-H club in Adams County because they loved animals and they loved horses. And it was great for me as a city slicker mom who the only thing I knew about horses was I could recognize the head and I could recognize the tail, and I knew that they ate hay. So my kids learned enough that my daughter went on to compete at the state fair in Colorado. She also competed at the National Western Stock Show and the World Appaloosa Show in Fort Worth, Texas. So one of them now is a nurse, the other is a guardian ad litem working with abused and neglected kids, and I owe a lot of their success to the 4-H program, so I would urge an aye vote.
Representative Navarro.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I too rise in support of this, and I want to say thank you to my mentor from 4-H who participated in the Governor's Beef Show. He and I together won belt buckles this last year, and I'm just very proud and honored to be able to stand here and support all of you. And thank you, all of you who have come in support of 4-H, and what a wonderful opportunity it is for you. So thank you.
Representative Mitch Bush.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I stand in strong support of SJR 16-004. 4-H is a critical program throughout our state, in both rural areas and in urban areas. It teaches, as everyone has said, responsibility. It gives young people the opportunity to develop, to do speeches, to engage in a wide variety of projects which will serve them well throughout their lives. I know up in my home county of Routt County, many of our 4-H young people have, over the 39 years I've lived there, gone on to be community leaders, and it really is a wonderful program. So I rise in strong support and strong thanks to all the advisors, the parents, and all the young people.
Representative Brown.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And we do have 4-H's from all over the state here. We've got some even from La Plata and Archuleta County, and they've come a long, long ways. And I'm really, really proud of them and thank them for being able to be here. The 4-H program is a wonderful, great program, and I'm in full support of SJR 4, and you know that the program, 4-H program, I went through it. I was 10 years in the program, and was honored to go to the National 4-H conference twice, and actually shook hands with President Nixon when I did that, and it was a great honor. And you know, I've learned so much, and all of my boys, 4 boys, went through the 4-H program. Just such a great program, and it has been what has made me what I am, and I just thank you for that opportunity. Thank the Extension Service for all of their work with the 4-H program and Colorado State University as a land-grant university. Thank you.
Representative Vigil.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I also rise in strong support of SJR 4. And as Chair of Ag, I would like to welcome all the 4-Hers from all over the state of Colorado to the state capitol to honor your hard work, your integrity, your interest in what you do. You take a very different look of life. Compared to your urban cousins, you actually know where food comes from. You actually know how it's produced. You know how to care for those animals and how to produce all those products that food and clothe and feed us. So, you know, what you do is an important part of rural Colorado, but most importantly, you support and are part of the second largest industry in the state of Colorado, which is ag. And I just want to thank you all for being here and continue your work, because it's your leaders that have inspired you, and I hope they continue to inspire you. But I think you guys out there are going to be all successful. You have a good program to follow. You got your pledge that you follow, and it's all good. And just continue doing the work that you do, because you are the future leaders of the state of Colorado and of other parts of the world as well. Thank you for being here today.
Representative Wilson.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I too rise in support of this resolution. Welcome to all you 4-Hers. Welcome to our house, your house. 4-H is near and dear to me. I was in 4-H in the state of Kansas when I was a little younger than I am now, and my daughters participated in 4-H when we came to Colorado, and I look forward to my grandsons participating in 4-H in Oklahoma as they grow just a little bit older. Having been a school administrator, I would like to say that I never had a 4-Her in my office for any problems at any time. I can't do that. But I can tell you that I've never had a 4-H student in my office for destructive purposes. It was always positive honoriness, which many of you in this chamber that have been up here can attest to that. We used to do some interesting things. But I've also noticed that 4-Hers step up and take responsibility for their actions, and I always loved that positive honoriness, and I really appreciated it. So young people, I would challenge you as 4-Hers to carry this forward. Because you're sitting here in this chamber today, you're not thinking about your kids or your grandkids being in 4-H, but it will happen. And I challenge you to do that, because your community needs you, your state needs you, your nation needs you to take those values forward. Thank you for being here.
Representative Ryden.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I also rise in support of Senate Joint Resolution 004. Growing up in a small farming community, I was a member of 4-H, and I remember the one project that sticks in my mind was the Pincushion project. And I can tell you it led me straight to the state legislature. So young folks, wonderful to see you here today. I think you can see that 4-H is a pipeline to the legislature and to other leadership positions. And it's just great to see all of you here ready to take on that responsibility and to be our next generation of leaders. And a special shout out to our Arapahoe County 4-Hers. Thank you.
Representative Quorum.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. You know, the dangers of waiting last to talk is everything has been said, you think. And I can't disagree with anything that has been said here today, but I'm going to tell you what I think the most important thing about 4-H, and it has not been said today. They know that you do not get a trophy for participation. They know that you get a trophy, a ribbon, for hard work, perseverance, and luck. And not everybody's a winner. And I think that's very important, because this is one of the basic lessons of life. You will get what you earn. Thank you.
Is there further discussion on Senate Joint Resolution 004? Seeing none, the question is the adoption of SJR 004. Is there objection to taking a voice vote? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. SJR 004 is passed. Representative Becker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I move that the morning's roll call be added to this resolution as co-sponsors.
The motion is to have the morning roll call added as co-sponsors of SJR 004. Is there any objection? Seeing none, so ordered. Thank you, everyone, for being here. It's very nice to have you all. I can see the yellow, whatever you call these, scarves. That's what they are. And thank you very much. We admire all the work you do, both the parents and the young people. Hang in there for us. Thank you very much. So we now go to announcements and introductions. Mr. Minority Leader Del Grosso.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I have an announcement as well. And there are some other great kids that are joining us today as well, on top of the 4-H students. Representative Buck and myself would like to welcome students from our districts who attend Colorado Early Colleges in Fort Collins. It's a charter school that was founded by former Senate Minority Leader Keith King. Last fall, Newsweek magazine named Colorado Early Colleges in Fort Collins the #1 school in Colorado for college preparedness. Today is a kickoff to National School Choice Week, and we would like to thank these students and their parents for taking on this challenge and successfully reaching their goals. One more thing I'd like to point out. The students that graduated last year, all of them but one, not only graduated, but graduated with an associate's degree. So that is pretty amazing. So I would like to welcome them, and then their professor, Dana Schuneman, that is bringing them down, and advisor, Josh C. So if we could welcome them to the chamber, I'd appreciate it.
Representative Mitch Bush.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I would like to welcome Routt County 4-H and their advisor, Tammy Eggers. Thank you, guys. And I say, I'm from Minnesota, I say guys when I'm talking about women or men or girls or boys. So thank you all for all you do, and welcome.
That's $2 fine, Representative Mitch Bush. Representative Quorum. And then.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. With your permission, I brought Representative Wilson with us. We have a report on the National Junior Livestock Sale, of which many 4-H'ers were there. I have some good news for you. The House and the Senate General Assembly did not buy the grand champion for $117,000. So we're not here to collect more money today. So I think that's good news for you. But what we did. We bought a steer from Austin Rua, is that the name? From Roggins, Colorado, and for $10,500. So thank you very much for your participation.
Representative Wilson.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And I might add to Representative Quorum, we had 100% participation in this chamber.
Yes, yes.
We had some generous heroes who covered for the reluctant heroes that we were about to walk out the door and not have covered. We raised over $5,500 in this chamber. We hammered the lower chamber, just thought I'd mention that. And the steer, as Representative Quorum said, was owned by and shown by Austin Hula of Rogan, Colorado. The steer weighed 1,315 pounds. We purchased it for $10,500. If you wonder how we do that, we also have some people who are there that help us out a little bit. And part of the purchase price goes towards a scholarship program, just so you all will know that a part of that money goes directly to a scholarship program for the young people. And the steer was donated back, so there won't be a steak fry. But hot dogs are coming Thursday. A week from this Thursday, actually. A week from this Thursday. Thank you.
Well done. Congratulations, House. I think we did. Is this the best year we've had? It certainly, this is the best year we've ever had. So let's give ourselves a hand. Representative Landgraf and then Representative Landgraf, you're next, and with Representative Rupe and then Representative Vigil.
And Representative Ryden. We're just here to remind you that today at noon is the Veterans Caucus. Good news, you won't have to listen to us for another month, but we're having a great turnout. I suggest you get there early and get a seat because at last count we have over 60 people coming.
Representative Vigil. Never mind. With Representative Rupe or with? Oh, Representative Rupe, go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We've had a change of venue. It's in room 112 because we've had such a great turnout. And we're really looking forward to you coming down. We're talking about mental health issues. And this is one of many issues that I think our veterans need to hear and you need to hear from and learn a little bit more about.
Representative Ryden.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And at the Veterans Caucus today, I will have a sign-up sheet for the folks who want to be involved in the Military Appreciation Day resolutions. So anyone who's attending that caucus today will have an opportunity to sign up for those resolutions. And just while I'm here, I want to mention that we are having a joint committee meeting at 1:30 today in room 271. And one of the highlights of that is going to be an update on the military impact on Colorado in terms of economic development. So anyone is welcome to come and listen to that report today. Thank you.
Representative Young and then Vigil. And then.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members of the State Veterans and Military Affairs Committee, please raise your hands. Please raise your hands if you're on State Military and Veterans Affairs. Oh, all right, I see a few. Now, put your red book in your hand and raise it. Oh, well, there's going to be a joint, oh, very good, Representative Humphrey. Mitch Bush, very good. Joint Budget Committee is going to come and give a presentation to you today, and members of the committee, please bring your red books with you. We'll see you later at 1:30.
Representative Vigil.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Agricultural, Livestock, and Natural Resource Committee members, heads up. We'll be meeting upon it at 1:30 today in room 107. We've got 3 items on the agenda. I've got two sunset hearings, or 2 items on the agenda, I'm sorry. 2 sunset hearings, one on vessel registration and one division on hearing of Division of Racing Events and Colorado Racing Commission. So 1:30 sharp, we want to get started early because it's probably going to be a while on the second item, maybe on the first one too. So we'd like to get started on time. Please be there on time. Try to gavel in at 1:30 exactly.
Representative Garnett.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Representative Landgraf and I would like to invite all the members to the 2016 Kemp Legislative Reception tonight from 5 to 8 p.m. at the University Club, which is at 1673 Sherman Street. Let's all go and celebrate the work that they do to help protect our kids. Thank you.
Representative Brown.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and just wanted to invite everybody to the Capitol Commission, the Bible study tomorrow morning downstairs in 109, breakfast, and we're going to be studying 2 Timothy chapter 3. Thank you.
Representative Fields and Assistant Minority Leader Lawrence, please. I can almost get it out. Please proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members, I'd just like to remind everyone that Wednesday is the first Victims' Rights Caucus, and it's going to be held from 12 to 1 in meeting room 109 down in the basement.
Representative Fields.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And the topic is going to be about the long-term impact of trauma that's associated with being a crime victim. So please join us this coming Wednesday.
Representative Rosenthal.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. It's a pleasure and an honor to serve with you.
And also with you.
Thank you. So members, there is also a reception tonight to promote the tourism industry that impacts our entire state. And so the reception will be from 5:30 to 7:30 at the Brown Palace on the second floor in the Onyx Room. And hopefully you will tour on over there. Thank you.
The further announcements and introductions. Representative Kraft-Tharp, are you? Okay. Seeing none, Madam Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members, many people asked me if we were going to do second readings. We are going to do second readings. You may not have remembered this morning that was the first time we did announcements and introductions because we actually cut directly to the resolution this morning. So with that, we're going to go into second reading. We have a couple bills on the calendar, and let's go.
Okay, Representative Foote, I believe it is. Oh.
Madam Speaker, I move the House resolve itself into the Committee of the Whole for consideration of general orders.
You have heard the motion. If there are no objections, Representative Foote will take the chair.
The committee will come to order. With your unanimous consent, the bills will be read by title unless there is a request for reading a bill at length. Committee amendments will not be read unless requested, as they are printed and in your bill folders. Floor amendments will be shown on the screen and on your iPads and not be read unless requested. Bills will be laid over upon motion of the Majority Leader, and the Cote rule is relaxed. Mr. Kohler, can you please read the title of House Bill 1026?
House Bill 1026 by Representatives Thurlow and Kraft-Tharp, also Senator Holbert, concerning the repeal of the Department of Revenue's revenue impact accounting requirements related to a group of bills enacted in 2010.
Representative Kraft-Tharp.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, I move House Bill 161026. There is no committee report.
To the bill, Representative Thurlow.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, members. House Bill 1026 is very simple. It has no words. It eliminates 2 full pages of law with crossouts. What it does, it eliminates a report that we have all been getting for about 6 years now, having to do with revenue raised from certain taxes that were passed in 2010. If anyone has actually read the report, and I certainly have a copy of it for you if you like, the report says that the information that we requested is just not available. So I think removing this report from the requirements of the Department of Revenue is good. It will save them money. It will create more efficient government, which is what we all want. I urge a yes vote on 1026.
Representative Kraft-Tharp.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Members, just to make sure that you know, I did check with the stakeholders that were involved in putting these reporting requirements in statute, and they are supportive of this bill to repeal those reporting requirements. I agree with Representative Thurlow. This is an efficiency and government bill. We ask your support. Thank you.
Is there any further discussion on House Bill 1026? Seeing no further discussion, the question before us is the adoption of House Bill 1026. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. House Bill 1026 is adopted. Mr. Kohler, can you please read the title of House Bill 1028?
House Bill 1028 by Representative Van Winkle concerning modifications to the statewide death and disability plan administered by the Fire and Police Pension Association.
Representative Van Winkle.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Chair. I do move House Bill 161028 and the Finance Committee report.
Representative Van Winkle, I understand there's no Finance Committee report. Would you just, and we'll just ask you to go to the bill. So to the bill, Representative Van Winkle.
Okay, thank you very much. This bill is pretty straightforward. It makes some minor changes to ensure that firefighters and police officers on temporary disability get properly compensated for their pensions and their retirement plans. It did pass Finance 11-0, and also the FPPA Interim Committee recommended it unanimously. Thank you.
Is there any further discussion on House Bill 1028? Seeing none, the question before us is the adoption of House Bill 1028. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. House Bill 1028 is adopted. Mr. Kohler, can you please read the title of House Bill 1038?
House Bill 1038 by Representatives Milton and Salazar, also Senator Jones, concerning optional affiliation with the Fire and Police Pension Association by a county sheriff department that does not participate in Social Security.
Representative Milton.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move House Bill 1028 and ask for an aye vote.
To the bill, the question before us is the adoption of House Bill 1038. All those in favor to the adoption of House Bill 1038 say aye. Aye. All those opposed, no. House Bill 1038 is adopted.
25.
Mr. Kohler, can you please read the title of House Bill 1049?
House Bill 1049 by Representative Lee concerning escrow account held by a depository institution on behalf of an issuer of an interstate offering of securities.
Representative Lee.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, I move House Bill 161049.
To the bill, Representative Lee.
Thank you. This bill makes two small modifications to the Colorado Crowdfunding Act to substitute the word depository institutions for the series of words bank, savings and loans, etc. And it also allows the termination of escrow when the minimum amount of money is received in escrow. I ask for an aye vote.
Is there any further discussion on House Bill 1049? Seeing none, the question before us is the adoption of House Bill 1049. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. House Bill 1049 is adopted. Mr. Kohler, can you please read the title of House Bill 1043?
House Bill 1043 by Representative Brown, also Senator Baumgartner, concerning the Joint Technology Committee's authority to approve the request for a waiver of certain deadlines after monies for a project have been appropriated.
Representative Brown.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And I would move for the passage of House Bill 1043 and the report from the State Veterans and Military Affairs Committee.
To the committee report, Representative Brown.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The committee, we passed an amendment which actually just gives the Office of Technology more latitude in their contracts to get our computer business done and all the technology done. It was I agree with the amendment.
Is there further discussion on the committee report? Representative Tyler.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and along with Representative Brown, I do support the committee report. This is an issue the Joint Technology Committee has looked at. We get very strong reporting, and we have some really good oversight now of enterprise software projects for the Joint Technology Committee. We get quarterly reports on dashboards showing progress on every single project, and more often reports if we so ask. So I think that covers the territory pretty well, and I think this amendment is a pretty good amendment on the bill. Thank you.
Is there any further discussion on the committee report? Seeing none, the question before us is the adoption of the State Military and Veterans Affairs Committee report. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. The committee report is adopted. To the bill, Representative Brown.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would ask for an aye vote on House Bill 1043 as amended. It just gives more latitude to the Joint Technology Committee and takes it away from the Capital Development Committee.
Is there any further discussion on House Bill 1043? Seeing none, the question before us now is the adoption of House Bill 1043. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no. House Bill 1043 is adopted. Mr. Kohler, please read the title of House Bill 1018.
House Bill 1018 by Representatives Carver and Mitch Bush, also Senator Todd, concerning a requirement that the Statewide Transportation Advisory Committee provide advice and comments regarding transportation-related matters to both the Department of Transportation and the Transportation Commission rather than the department only.
Representative Carver.
Thank you. I move the adoption of House Bill 1018.
To the bill, Representative Carver.
This bill makes one very simple change. It clarifies that the Statewide Transportation Advisory Committee is authorized to provide its advice directly to the Transportation Commission, and the Transportation Commission Chair, Kathy Cannell, is in support of 1018.
Representative Mitch Bush.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. In addition, the chair of STAC, Statewide Transportation Advisory Committee, Vince Rogolsky from Crested Butte, is strongly in favor of this. It essentially codifies what has long been practice in the Statewide Transportation Advisory Committee, and it allows for more open and more full communication between those grassroots representatives from all over the state. And it is also a TLRC bill.
Is there Representative Carver?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and my apologies for not addressing you appropriately earlier. We also received letters from across the state in support of this bill.
Thank you, Representatives. Is there any further discussion of House Bill 1018? Seeing none, the question before us is the adoption of House Bill 1018. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. House Bill 1018 is adopted. Mr. Kohler, can you please read the title of House Bill 1053?
House Bill 1053 by Representative Kraft Tharp, also Senator Hill, concerning the regulation of retail hydrogen fuel systems for vehicles.
Representative Kraft Tharp.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, I move House Bill 161053.
To the bill, Representative Kraft Tharp.
Thank you. So, members, this bill gives the Division of Oil and Public Safety within CDLE the statutory authority to create regulatory framework for retail hydrogen fueling stations. It allows them to establish guidelines by 2017 for fire safety standards, weights and measures, installation and operation standards, perform facility safety inspections, and the authority to establish reasonable fees to administer safety regs. This bill does not create any new mandate. It simply puts the safety standards and regulations in place and will put Colorado ahead of other states for attracting this new technology. Members, I ask for your support.
Is there any further discussion on House Bill 1053? Seeing none, the question before us is the adoption of House Bill 1053. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. House Bill 1053 is adopted. Madam Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move the committee rise and report.
Seeing no objection, the committee will rise and report.
The House will come back to order. Mr. Kohler, please read the report of the Committee of the Whole.
Madam Speaker, Committee of the Whole begs the report is under consideration of the following attached bills being second reading. The Honorable makes the following recommendations thereon. House Bills 1018, 1026, 1028, 1038, 1043, amended 1049, 1053. Passed on second reading in order to gross placed on calendar for third and final passage.
Representative Foote.
Adopt the report of the Committee of the Whole.
You have heard the motion, and there are no amendments. The question before the House is the adoption of the report of the Committee of the Whole. Mr. Kohler, please open the machine, and members proceed to vote. Representative Arndt, Representative Buck, Representative Del Grosso, Representative Priola, and Representative Tyler.
Hey, if you break that button.
Close the machine. Representative Tyler, you're fined $3. With 64 ayes, 1 vacancy, the Committee of the Whole report is adopted. We're now at announcements and what do we have next? Announcements and introductions. Anybody? Hopefully we're done. Madam Majority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move that the House stand in recess until later today at 1:30.
The motion is to stand in recess until later today at 1:30 p.m. Seeing no objection, so ordered.